Hello, 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 Facebook, YouTube, Facebook and YouTube. Happy, what's the day of the week? Thursday. Happy Thursday to you, right? Happy Thursday to you. Good morning, come in. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to my channel by simply hitting the subscribe button. So that you will get notification whenever I upload this life-changing money mindset, financial transformation, stop living paycheck to paycheck, use your credit to get cash flow videos, and Facebook, show some digital love, right? Also, thank you for the digital love, hit the like button. So right into the topic, let me start this over some. Right into the topic, I want to show you all. Let me readjust my phone real quick because I want this angle. How I received 513. I might put 31. Thank you for the digital love. Good morning. This is my, you may or may not can see it, statement from my credit card. If you can see this statement very well, you can see that my total redemption points is 54,836. And the statement says that they're converted or they're equal to $513. That's real cash back. Now, the balance on my card was $431. So it pretty much, it paid. It didn't pretty much pay. It paid the balance off for using the card that month. So basically everything that I swiped the card for, because I didn't purchase things. I didn't purchase things. This card is used for business transactions only, right? So this was not shopping sprees. This was not, grocery shopping. This was business use only, which included in this business use my gas in my vehicle that I'm driving now, my internet bill, my let me see what other cell phone bills, right? That comes out of this, that's paid through this card, cable, phone, etc. Anything that's within my house that's also connected with the business. So, it's not as much as discipline that has to be done to make this decision to use your credit card like a debit card. It's really a decision. It doesn't take much discipline, people. It's really a decision to do it, because in a mindset, because all you have to think is, if I were using this debit card to pay these bills with, what would you get in exchange? And would you overspend out of your banking account? So what you do is you hold and keep the money in your checking account for record keeping purposes, and you pay the balance off full every month on your credit card. Then you also have to position yourself to have great credit or good credit to qualify for a credit card to give you cash back rewards for making the decision to do this. For example, when I pay my phone bill, cable, internet, etc., that's 4 points for simply using this card. And so those 4 points equal up to 52,000 points very, very quickly within a month's time for making a decision to use my credit card versus my debit card. And it takes care of the balance of the monthly balance that's due on the credit card. So why do I suggest that you still hold the money in your checking account as you would a debit card? Because I simply like to keep a positive balance on my card And I simply like to keep the mindset that I will use this card to pay my bills with the cash flow that I have coming in every month. Now, those transactions again took care of the balance. So for me, that was an additional $431 a month that I saved by simply making a decision and having a financial knowledge and literacy. So that's the advantage of using your credit card over a debit card. Second topic, 7 years of good credit versus 7 years of bad credit. Doesn't it sound like something similar to you? We heard before from the #1 best-selling book on financial wisdom and literacy. That #1 best-selling book is the Bible, where Joseph in Genesis experienced 7 years of famine and 7 years of prosperity. And so most of the biblical understanding of money and finances is what this economy is set up as, and is used very practical. For example, using debt and credit to build wealth is biblical. Example, you have the widow woman in 2 Kings whose husband died and left her and her sons and so much debt, detrimental debt, that her sons were about to be sold into slavery. And so she used her creditable name or credibility with her neighbors to borrow pots to build a business. See, your mindset has to be, I'm going to borrow to build a business. BBB. Borrow to build a business. If you're watching this live in the replay, I want you to put that in the comment section. Borrow to build a business. There are so many people who have side hustles in which their side hustles will limit the amount of money that they can bring in because they commingle their personal checking accounts, their personal debit cards. They're set up as sole proprietors, meaning that they do not have a business corporation, an LLC or corporation, and now they're being taxed 30% or higher of every dollar that they bring in. They don't understand they're being taxed because they don't get the advantages of having business tax breaks that I have, or having business credit cards that will pay them $513 cash back every month, and that will wipe out the balance of the transaction that they use for business purposes. So you're losing money by trying to have a side hustle and using your debit cards and personal checking accounts to purchase your business products with, or to pay your phone bill, cable bill, or internet bill. Now you get nothing back. So back to my example, the #1 best-selling book on finances and prosperity is the Bible. 7 years of good credit is always reported on your credit report. But did you all know that after 7 years, if an account is closed, in which it can be an installment account in which you paid your vehicle note in full, you paid it off, or it was just maybe you purchased a computer, a Dell computer, a HP on a Dell or HP business card, and you paid that balance off, and now you're no longer repurchasing things. After 7 years of accounts being closed or the accounts being paid off, it will automatically fall off of your credit report. Likewise, the same thing works with bad credit if you do nothing. So if you have late payments, collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies are from 7 to 10 years, then you will have that many years of bad credit reporting on your credit report if you do nothing, if you don't get the help or the expertise or if you don't have the financial know-how to get those negative accounts removed from your credit report. So that's my second topic. A lot of people didn't know that about the 7 years of good credit reporting. If an account has been paid off, like your vehicle note, that after 7 years, it will just automatically fall off, right? So you have to know how to play this credit game. That's why it's never a good idea to cut up your credit cards, because it doesn't matter. Even if you're making a $30 purchase every month or two or every 6 months, keeping those accounts open and having some type of activity and paying them off in full every month is always an advantage, because 35% of your credit score is made up of your payment history. So you want to keep a history of payments, good payments, reporting on your credit report, and that takes very little activity, and you don't have to overbalance or max out your credit card to do that. You can use my strategy, and for gas, and like I said, everything that I would have been paying the bills on and everyday transactions anyway, I get money cash back for that. My last topic, and then I'm closing, the banks, and how you need to get ready for this economy crashing, and how the banks use your money, right? And what they're doing now, why the Federal Reserve is dropping the interest rate. The real reason why they're dropping the interest rates, not only because Russia and China and the global economy banks lowered their interest rates, but you can be in a position right now that you can borrow money at zero or even a negative interest rate fees, I want to say. Now, how can that occur? How does that happen? President Trump is really, pushing the Fed lowered the base points a little, I think by 25% for home loans, but President Trump is really pushing for negative or zero interest rates, simply because, he wants to get reelected for November 2020, right? Also, President Trump also uses the strategy or leverage of using the bank's money to make more money. He has borrowed $1 billion, right, from the banks to build his businesses, his Trump Towers. And now, dropping at zero or negative interest rate, he can borrow even more money. And the rich and elite can borrow even more money. And that's the strategies they use. They never put their personal money at risk when they can use the bank's money for free or at negatives, meaning that the banks at that point just want to give it away. So why would the bank want this to happen? Well, when you deposit your money in the bank or you set up a savings account, the banks are required, for example, for whatever $100, if you have direct deposit or you have a savings account that you have, for example, they have to keep at least $5 in reserve. Meaning that's why you see the FDIC insurance protection over your money, meaning that all of your money is not in the bank. See how the banks make money is you deposit your money, your paycheck, or you have a savings account with money in the bank, and they give you under 1% to store your money in their institution, so they can in return lend that money out at 10 or 16% interest. So that's how the banks make their money. They don't value cash, because if they did, they would give you more interest for you to store your money in the bank. The banks value cash flow, meaning that they will create instruments of indebtedness, meaning loans out of thin air, just by a paper contract, to have people repaying them on a repeatedly recurring monthly basis. And that's why you need to use your credit to appreciate cash flow by purchasing assets. Because I've given the example many times that you can use credit cards to use cash advances to purchase things like real estate and purchase homes. So you can be the lender and not the borrower. That's another quote from the best-selling book. And you can have money, and you can be your own bank, like the banks, and you can have tenants who paying you monthly and or recurring income every month by renting out your home or your space, right? And so the banks give you very little interest on your money because they don't value cash. Cash is trash. They value cash flow. And they lend it out at 10 to 16%. Well, now President Trump is really pushing that $5 that they were keeping in the Federal Reserve under the FDIC insurance in case you want to come back and retrieve your money, get your money back. Now they won't even have that $5 on the $100 in there. So you won't have any protection or reserve. These interest rates drop that if you go back you want to withdraw $10,000 from the checking account institution, it won't even be there, because they're trying to get this money loaned out to the economy in the form of debt, because that's the only way they can make their money when people are in debt. And so now we're in a financial situation or financial crisis now that people are not borrowing anymore to buy things. They've become more financial literate. They're borrowing to build businesses. And now the banks want to stimulate that economy again, or re-stimulate it, because they're losing out money. And that's one reason why they don't want your credit to be fixed or prepared. Because the lower interest rates that they lend out to you, the less money that they make from their cash flow profits. So, hey, I'm signing off. I've reached my destination. Make sure you all hit like. You hit share. Use your credit to create cash flow. $531 back for using my credit card to I would my debit card for my phone, my cable, my internet bills. Things that I would have paid for anyway. And if, again, the balance was $431, I've received $513 back. So that freed me up of $431 of cash that I would have had to pay out that month on my bills by paying my bills through debit card. So look, if you didn't watch the beginning of this, you definitely want to watch the replay. Again, whether you're watching this live or the replay, make sure you comment, build, borrow to build a business. Thank you for the digital love. I know my phone, I think my connection was going in and out. So you all definitely want to watch the replay of this video, and you can understand how the banks are preparing for the crash, why President Trump really want the banks to lower the interest rate at zero or no, interest, and why you need to build your credit up for the cash so you can be the lender and not the borrower. Hey, I'm signing off. Or you can borrow to build business credit. You all make it a great day. Queen of credit. If I can get my fingernails to cut the off button, I had to touch it with the other side of my hand. Let me see what my stylus is. I thought here it is. I have to use this because my nails are so long. It's just hard for me to touch it now.